Today we're making history. This flight 757 is a maiden flight out of JFK Airport, flying into Argyle International Airport.
Dedication and desperation, nationals made their contributions, eliminating our frustration. From our neighboring islands, their taxes so high, we want to cry. Cuba, Taiwan and Venezuela, Mexico, Trinidad and Tobago.
Good morning to one and all. Today, Saturday, the 10th day of October 2015, and once more I am with you here at the Argyle International Airport site. The weather is not as good as it was last week. We have some overcast weather, but the sun is still shining. It is breezy, but I'm here with you at my starting point here at the McConney Yami Hill, and in the distance looking up towards the control tower area, there are two caterpillars up there that are doing excavation work here on this hillside. Now last week when I was here, I showed you some stakes in a line going up from south to north, and I told you that these stakes indicate where they're going to cut down the bank side where the stakes were running and bring it down to a level. Now this week we have the caterpillars up here working, as you can see over there in the distance, and just what I have told you last week is exactly what has taken place here today. Now you see all this bank side you're seeing here was at a level at the top, and I was on top of that bank up there when I show you that video. But now all of this bank side here where the stakes were running down have come down to the level you're seeing here in this video currently. And as I speak with you, the caterpillars are up there in the distance, continuing the pushing away of the soil here on top of this McConney Yami Hill, pushing it towards the northern end of this hill.
Witnessing our achievement, they are lifesavers when we need good neighbors. Argyle International Airport, we flying. Argyle International Airport, we landing. Argyle International Airport, we progressing. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it's a blessing.
As you can see down here at the area where they're doing the backfilling of the Stubbs Bay side, no work is actually taking place down here today. We have our fishermen, children and women there on the bank side doing their usual fishing. But in regards to the work here down here at this section of the airport site, no work is going on down here currently. But as I turn with you and I come more up on the bank side, you can see over there that we have some earthworks taking place here. That grader there in front of us here is grading off there. We have a slope coming down here. I do not know exactly what is taking place here. I can't really say for sure, but we see we have trucks coming here with stuff and dumping them at the edge, and the grader and the caterpillar over there are doing some pushing away of these dirt. But to say exactly what is happening here, I cannot tell. But I will just have to keep monitoring the work here, and as time goes by, I will sure get a better understanding as to what has been taking place. But I'm just bringing it to you so that you can have an idea as to what is going on there down at the southern end of the airport side, overlooking the Stubbs, where they are doing the filling up of the Stubbs area, reclaiming some of the land there from this. Last week I show you this area where they had just put down the steel matting and laid down the concrete base for the work to be done here on this drain. And this is in the area of little below where we have the stone crushing plant, just below the fourth hill here where they're putting in a drain. Now they have already run some of the blocks. Workmen are there currently right now, and apparently they are on a break. But as you can see from here, I am at the foot of the foothill, about to go up to the top in that area where the surveyor was last week, to get a look at, to see what has taken place from the backside there over the past week since I visited. And from here, I showed you last week the work up there on the drainage. So I'm just giving you a look-see from this point here to see exactly what has taken place.
Dedication and desperation. Nationals made their contributions, eliminating our frustration. From our neighboring islands, their taxes so high, we want to cry. Cuba, Taiwan and Venezuela, Mexico, Trinidad and Tobago, embracing our commitment, witnessing our achievement, their life saved.
Now we are here at the top side of this drain that I spoke about earlier, and as you can see what is actually happening, the men are removing the wood that form the boxing for that crowning of that concrete crowning on top of the blocks. The blocks have been run between last Saturday and this Saturday, and on top of the blocks, after the rough blocks have been run, they crown it off with a concrete portion to strengthen the blocks itself. And what they are actually doing now, they are removing the boxing that were placed there to hold the concrete in place, and later on they're going to do some plastering of the inside of this drain. And as you will know that sometime in the future, at the outside there, the side closest to the bank, the fencing, the perimeter fencing of the airport will be going in place. So this is what you see happening here on this side. Last week when I came here, we only had the steel down, the matting steel, and today we see all the blocks have been put up in place, hung off with the concrete, and now they are removing the boxing in preparation for the plastering of this area. Now we are here at the southern turning head, where they are doing the final asphalt work here on the runway of the airport strip. Now over here on the side, they're also going to do concrete works. The same amount of height of concrete, the same amount of asphalt they're putting down here, they will be putting down that asphalt work here on this side of the turning head, coming all the way around and going up alongside the runway strip here to continue right up towards the end. And this is going to happen on both sides. But what you're looking at here right now, you're seeing the compacting machine over there compacting. They would have already laid down asphalt from this point here on the western side, going right over to center point there on the airport strip. They have already done half of it up to a certain point, and are now doing the other half on the eastern side. So today, Saturday, the 10th day of October 2015, the work here, the final lane of the asphalt work here on the airport runway has commenced here on the southern end of the runway. As you would know by now, they would have already done the northern piece, that small piece up at the north. They have already done it, and now they have transferred the work down here on the southern end. So things are happening here at the airport site. as you can see for yourself from this video, that we have the work is going on currently here at the south of the airport site, the final layer of the asphalt work. And if you look closely here to the end, you could remember earlier up where the concrete joined, they had a lip. Well, that lip is there no more. The lip has gone because they would have already put in, and I believe it's 5 centimeters of asphalt layer they have put in here to bring it up to this level. If you can recall last week when we were here at this fencing area, and this is located on the eastern side, just on the bank there is the road. If you're coming down to Warwick, when you can come back on the airport site, and you will come out in this area here, little above the stone crushing plant, as you can see over there where we have the equipment. You can see the plant. Now last week when we were here, remember we had these fencing. The poles were up, yes. The fencing were leaning there on the poles, just as you have that one leaning up there, that one on the ground that is leaning there on the wall. Now last week before I actually left, when I was on my way out, I noticed that they were doing some work here on the fencing, and from the distance over there I could have seen that the fencing were up and people were doing work here. But I come back here this week to show you exactly what has been done. Now all the fencing up to this point here are up, and we have one extra piece remaining, but you know the fencing has to continue going down towards the south. Right in front of us here where we have that concrete works there, the fencing will have to continue along this area, going all the way down across the stone crushing plant, connecting up into that area where the guys are doing the drainage system down there on the southeastern end. So the work has finished here so far in regards to this concrete, this fencing, and as time progresses, more work will be done in this area here as they move from stage to stage. And no doubt, as I speak with it, they're probably somewhere else doing some work, but I don't know that for sure, and I will bring you up to date as to what is going on when I get to that point, if there is any work going on in any other area. We are here at the eastern side of the runway, the airport site, in that area where we had the extension of that culvert on the first kilometer of the runway. And if you can recall earlier up, we had a drain running in this area. This drain, when it got to this point, went to the bank side over there, and then it ran down on the side. But this had caused some erosion of the bank side, and what we're seeing here right now, some corrective measures have been made. And earlier up, before all of this work started, when I look at what was taking place here, I thought this is exactly what they were going to do. Not until I saw the drain going down there on the side. But eventually, it has to take some problem to really cause them to see it would not have been wise to put the drain the way they had it first. So now the corrective measures have taken place. And last week when we were here, I just showed you some stakes being planted, and I told you that most likely, from what I'm seeing, they're going to put the drainage in this area to connect to that area over there. So this is what you see happening here. And I don't know how the fence will be running, if they will bring it back now close to this one, or if they will put the fencing over the area where they're filling up over there, the dirt, to link up to the one behind me. But this is left to be seen. And but this, what they're doing here, is a better way of putting in the drain, so that you won't have any erosion of the bank side, which they have filled up down there, and this is more on solid ground here. So I just want you to see exactly what is taking place here in regards to this drain, where we had the erosion of the bank down there, where they have to do some more refilling and an extension of the drain in order to accommodate the extension of the filling up of this area. And as you see, the blocks are in place, and this work, done over the past week since I visited, because I usually visit on Saturday, and we have the blocks here already on site, and by next week when I come back, these blocks will be up and the work will be done just as the one that they did down there on the southeastern end, where I just showed you a while ago. These blocks, it form the siding for the drain, and the water, as you're seeing it right now, the water is heading towards the drain over there that has already been built, running from the south towards the north. And this water will now fall into a drain at the end up there, and when I get to the end, I will show you exactly where the water will be coming out. So here we are at the end of this drainage system here. We have a whole catchment area here for the water, and this is the drain. This is where the water will exit, coming all the way down there from that area a little above the stone crushing plant, coming across the new area of the drain where they're just about to build, and coming into this one here. And this water will take you now. This water will be taken right down through this culvert here, this drainage that we have here, being built a good while now, and take you down to the seaside, down to the Warwick beach. Now there is a split here, right in that area, and no doubt it is there for a purpose. And what I have observed is that they are putting in a drainage system up there where we have the fencing up there. They already had some drainage built up there, and they continue from last week. When I was there, I noticed that they would have start the cutting of a drain. And what it looks like to me, I am not positively sure, but from my observation, it looks as though that drain will be coming right down, because it has to have somewhere to bring the water, and probably will link up to this one here that we have right there, that cut open there that we have in this drain here. That is what it looks like to me. I could be wrong, but based on what I'm seeing, it could very well be the case. But where am I at here right now in this area? Here once used to be the road to take you to, the access road to take you to Warwick, all the way up in the air. Vehicles used to pass here. And where I'm standing here looking up towards the area where they had put down the first set of fencing, I see some new works has taken place there over the past week. But I will go closer to that work to show you what has happened over the past week in terms of the laying down of poles for the fencing. Here we are at that drainage area, closer to where they have done the work on the fencing, and you can see what is taking place there. And the slope of this, from what I'm seeing, is coming, the slope, the bevel is running from north to south, so which means that the water will be going down towards the south end, and most likely link up to that drain down there we now spoke about. But I am going to take you closer to where they have put down the poles for the fencing. I'm going to take you closer up. Now here we are at that area, and just above us, that's the Johnson Hill, on the hill up there, and the vehicles that are going to Warwick pass on the roadway up there. But in this area is where we had the first set of fencing being planted, way back up to the north up there. But I am showing you where they have done some work here, probably up to this morning. Nobody is here right now, but you can see the work that has been done here this week. The poles are in place, the sidings for the concrete are in place, and no doubt later on we will have some work being done. But we have here in this area is quite rocky, as you can see, and some adjustment has to be made because of the rocky area. Some adjustment has to be made to the poles, and you can see with this one that doesn't have the actual depth to go down. They would have put a steel matting to help to hold it down in place when they pour the concrete. So you see here, poles are in place, as I told you. Boxing are on the sides of these things, linking me back up to the first set of fencing that they would have put in, and all that is left to be done now is for the concrete to come and to be poured in these boxing and have them set in place. And later on down in the week we'll have a different set of workers coming and putting up the meshing for the fencing. And this is what happened here between last Saturday when I came and today when I come back here. This is the work that has taken place. So a considerable amount of fencing is going up, and as you can see for yourself what is taking place here. And this no doubt is located on the eastern side of the runway, just below the hill there, what we call the Johnson Hill, where we have the roadway where the vehicles use to get to Warwick. And as I come closer up, I can see where they would have done a small portion of this work during the week gone there, where they have poured concrete to secure the poles into place. And you can see from this work here that something was done. And they were working here this morning because we have the tools down here and other things. I don't know if they have gone for lunch right now because it's almost 12 o'clock. So this is what we have here. And when it is 12 o'clock, you know, the place go dead. Everybody leave their workplace, leave tools, everything, their water jug, everything, and go to the meeting place where they collect their lunches.
Nationals made their contributions, eliminating our frustration. From our neighboring islands, their taxes so high, we want to cry. Cuba, Taiwan and Venezuela, Mexico, Trinidad and Tobago, embracing our commitment, witnessing our achievement. They are lifesavers when we need good neighbors. Argyle International Airport, we flying. Argyle International Airport, we landing. Argyle International Airport, we progressing. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it's a blessing.
I didn't realize because I did not come here for a while, more concentrate on over that side. But this is another portion of fencing here that has been put in place over those past weeks that I have not visited this area. There is a space somewhere where you see that caterpillar is going through, an open space left there so that they could get on the other side, because as they fence all the way down, the caterpillars will have to use the outside road if they want to get to any other point on the south. If they are traveling up inside the perimeter of the fencing, they will have to look for a cut open where they have that it could go through. And it looks as though they're leaving out those spaces for the time being so that the vehicles can get from inside to outside of the perimeter fencing. But as I travel down this area, what you're seeing is more of the fencing that were put in place over the weeks gone that I didn't even realize has happened because I did not visit this area, and I don't know how come I missed it. But this is what you're seeing here right now. And this piece up here above here, the opening there, this is linking back to the piece that was linking back up there. And this, all these what you're seeing here are new fencing that gone in.
Dedication and desperation. Nationals made their contributions, eliminating our frustration. From our neighboring islands, their taxes so high, we want to cry. Cuba, Taiwan and Venezuela, Mexico, Trinidad and Tobago, embracing our commitment, witnessing our achievement. They are lifesavers when we need good neighbors. Argyle International Airport, we flying. Argyle International Airport, we landing. Argyle International Airport, we progressing. St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it's a blessing.
Last week when I visited, there wasn't any meshing up from a good point down there all the way back up. As you can recall, they were putting down, pouring concrete in an area just across here. And on my way back down, I would have told you about some men later on in the evening putting up the moldings for the planting of the poles for the fencing. Now this week Saturday, what you're looking at here right now, all the poles are up to a certain point up there, where you can see from the distance here. All the poles are up and all the meshings are up. And this work with the putting up of the rest poles and the putting up of the fencing was done over the week gone. So this is what you seen from Saturday when I visited here. And not only here fencing went up, fencing had gone up in other areas. So you can see that the work here on the fencing is going up quite rapidly, contrary to what some people say, that it's going to take about 2 years to fence this entire airport. But that is not the case. As you can see, as I bring you the footage week after week, you can see the amount of work that has been done here in regards to the putting up of the fencing of this airport site. And what is going to happen later on as the fencing go around the perimeter, access to this site would be limited to vehicular traffic and other people. And only those who will have permission to come into the site will be able to enter here when all this fencing is going. And as I enter on the site here and I look around, I still see some animals roaming wild. But all of this will be stopped when the fencing of the perimeter of this airport site is in place. This is the drain we were looking at last week where the guys were running up the blocks. Now you can see all that work has completed. The coverings are on here, and we still have more of the drain to be done here, because this drain is going all the way back up around that electrical substation and coming out at the top side of the cargo terminal building. And as you can see on the cargo terminal building, last week they were putting up the rafters. Now all 7 of the rafters are up, and now they are putting on the lathing, the metal framing, onto which the galvanized will be bolted on to. And you can see also that they are doing a lot of stonework at the bottom of the building itself. From the foundation up to a certain point, they are putting on stone wall, and from to where the stone wall ends, they are plastering that section. So the building is going up quite nicely. And over here at the electrical substation, you see that they are putting up the boxing for the ring beam here on the side. So very soon we'll see the roofing going on, and this building, no doubt, probably might have stone wall right up to the top, who knows. But this is what we have happening here at the site. After a while of no activity of work in this area, the cargo apron area, we have seen here some work being done here over the past week. As you can see, about 5 sections of concrete work has been laid down here, and we have about 7 to 8 more sections left to put down here. I don't know if they will be doing any concrete works later on, but as you can see, no work is taking place here today, but work would have been done over the past week. Right here we see they already laid down some of the steel matting that comes between the joints of the concrete, and these steel matting that you see in here, these were done down in the area of the where we have the stone crushing plant. There is a workshop down there where the guys do the welding of these things here that you see. So on this side we have different areas where people are doing different works here on this site, and as we build this airport. Now we have this section here, and we have about 7 more plus the extra piece at the end to be done. So by the next week when I come back here, hopefully I should see this whole area being concreted and the guys move to another area. The area here where they're going to put the hangers, you now see that it has been graded down, leveled off, and actually been compacted, and we have already had the surveyors coming in and doing the surveying, because from the look of things there, you see those stakes. Whenever you see those stakes being placed anywhere, it's because the surveyors would have done some surveying of these areas. So very soon we probably will be seeing the erection of these hangers. On top of the hill up there where that house is, you see there's a piece of equipment, and it looks as though it is bringing down the hillside there. I am not sure, but I know that there should be a service road, some may pass it, some in the area where the equipment is on the hill, to take you back out to the main road up where those vehicles are. In this area you're looking at all the way up in the year January, December last year, January thereabout, when you want to get to Warwick, you used to have to drive down in that area and come across here, go across to the apron and go over in that area across the runway to get to Warwick and to the IADC office. Now all of this has changed over the past months gone by, and a significant amount of work has been done here to improve this area to bring it to what it is currently. And now the new access road is no doubt coming in from the Argyle Gardens, going across the runway strip still, passing a little bit above the 191 channel and going back over onto the main road, the old Argyle road, down into Warwick and to the IADC office. But in times to come, in the next few weeks or months or so, we're going to have all of that is going to be changed. No more vehicle will be able to come down in that area, because that area of the runway, work will be going on it, and therefore the vehicles will have to have a new access route, and that new access route will be coming in from the northern end in the area just east of the Argyle Primary School, you know, where that old Argyle Road once exited on to get to the countryside. You're going to come in onto that road, coming down on the eastern end and linking back up to the old road that once used to take you to the Warwick area. All in this area here you're looking at, this is a drain over there on the side, a drain that runs all the way from in front of the terminal building and it will be going somewhere back down to the end down there and linking up to the drain that is coming down from the main road. But all this area where I'm standing, where you see this molding is, they have to do concrete works going right back out to where those stays are hanging out from the side of that drain there. That is what is going to take place, and this work is going to continue over the days to come. All that area down there leading down to the the cargo terminal building, that dirt area there on the side there is going to be concreted. This drain here is going to be running somewhere down in that area too, and all that area we see will be concrete. So there is still some work to be done here at the Argyle International Airport site, but the work is being done and the work will be completed. We don't know when, but as we continue to do the work here at the airport site, we sure will get to the end. And from my observation here coming here, we are more than 90% completed with the work done here at this side. With all these stakes, these steel stakes being placed here on this area of a parallel taxiway running from north to south, where you see all those wooden stakes here, this area has already been surveyed, and what you're going to see happening later on is that they're going to lay down those steel stakes in the various positions, and that is going to mark the height to which the stones are going to be laid when they're using that machine to lay down the stone. So not too long from now, you're going to see stones being laid in this area to bring it up to the height and link it up to that area of the taxiway over there we're looking at right now, that is heading towards the commercial section of the apron area. All here where I'm standing, where you're seeing all those sticks running way down to the control tower bank, all here will not too long from now, be packed with stones, compacted, the base stones compacted, just as how we have it being done over there where we have the taxiway for the aircrafts. And after that, we're going to have this area asphalted. They're going to go through the different process of the asphalting and laying of the asphalt here in this area. So you steels you're seeing there on the ground, they are put in place here, and soon you will see some work starting on this area. How soon it will be, I don't know, but very soon you will see all that work going on here. And over there we have the terminal building, and you know that it will be painted up nicely later on when we're close to the finishing of the work here on the airport side. Now what I'm trying to do today, I'm trying to recapture some of the areas of photographs that I've done last year, a year ago, to make a comparison with the still pictures. I don't have the photographs with me, so I just make a note of some of the areas where I want to take photographs of and to link them up later on to see how best I can make the comparison to see what the work was like, what the airport site was like last year, and to what it has come to a year after those photographs were taken. And those photographs from last year would be dated 11th of October 2014. We are here at the other side, and if you notice, this sign is showing something. They're showing you where the apron is, and we have two letters. We have, I guess those are referring to the runway. We have C, A and C. Over there, where you see that black object is, that is actually the other sign I was just showing you a while ago. That is the back side of it. That sign is facing down towards the south, and this one is facing more towards the east. So I guess that if an aircraft is coming along this taxiway on my right here, which is the commercial taxiway, the pilot will be able to see where the apron is and which way is taxi, which one is A and which one is C. I guess the A and the C probably has to do with the taxiway. I'm not too sure, but somebody who knows better will be able to help me. And from the look of this thing, in the night it will be lighted so that aircrafts coming in at night can actually see what these are saying. Now down on the side down there on the commercial and the cargo apron section, we also have some of these signs, but when I get back down there I will show you what they are referring to. I will now move to the orientation sign, which is telling you about the 04 and the 22. I guess you would have learned about that already, but I'm going over to those signs to show you exactly what they are showing. Now there is a sign, as you can see, you have C at the end and you have 22-4. Now the sign, these two signs are the 04, I believe, and subject to correction, is referring to the southern end of the runway, and the 22 is referring towards the northern end of the runway. So you have 22, 0, 22 seems to be pointing northwards and 0 southwards. So that is the orientation of the airport, 0422. And when you speak of the 04 runway, is coming in from the southern end, I believe, subject to correction, and the 22 runway is the runway if you're coming in from the north end of the runway. Now behind my back, little over towards the side over there on the side, and I'm going to take you across it to show you. There's another sign like this one, but the C is on the right of the sign rather than on the left. You see this one at the side, the C is on the left of the 22. That's on the closest to the 22. On the other one up there, the C is on the side where the 4 is. So we're going to look at that a while from now as I take you up in that area. Here we are at the other side, giving you the orientation of the runway, and now you can see where the C is located on the side where the 4 is. I just show you the other one over there behind me on the other side over the back of me here, and the C is on the side of the 22 on the one over there. So this we have here, this is the sign post there for the aircrafts coming into the runway, which no doubt at night these signs will be lighted when the night has approached. Now I'm going to turn around. I don't know if you will be able to see it from over here, but I'm going to turn around and I'm going to pan over there where you can see it, that other sign over there in the distance, and as I come close across we can see the others. Well, you can learn things without people telling you, because earlier up down there, remember the signs that we're looking at, and we have a sign saying apron showing you an arrow and A and C. But now I stand here looking back at that one over there, I realize what they were talking about. Now this is C here, and the arrow is showing you where taxiway C is. I don't know what the C stands for, but the taxiway C is this taxiway, the commercial taxiway, the taxiway that will be going towards the commercial apron area section. So there you have it. And what I will do, as I cover these signs, I will go back down to the cargo taxiway to show you exactly what those signs. And no doubt you will know that the one at the front up here will say A, but we will see that when we go back down there, and you will get a better understanding of what these signs are saying. Here we have another sign, C. Here is B now. Now what I have now learned without anybody teaching me, we have 3 taxiway. Taxiway Bravo, if you want to, Alpha, we're starting with A in the alphabet, and B stands for Bravo. C in that alphabet is Charlie. And you know, if you continue, you have D. D stands for Delta. E is Echo. If you're a policeman or a military man, you will understand what these signs mean. So if you want to spell a word, right, like say bat, you say Bravo, sorry, say Bravo, Bravo Alpha Tango, which is B-A-T. The police will understand what you mean when you spell it like that. So we have 3 taxiways. We have a parallel taxiway, and we have a taxiway going towards the cargo apron area, and a taxiway going towards the commercial apron area. The taxiway, which is the parallel taxiway over there, running from north to south, from the top, let's say the 191 channel down to under the control tower, that is taxiway Alpha. Now this taxiway here that we're looking at, the one going towards the cargo apron area, this is taxiway Bravo. And the taxiway up there, where we just came from, going towards the commercial side, that is the taxiway, and that's supposed to be taxiway Charlie. So when you're communicating with the pilots, they will understand what you mean. So this is the sign here. There is another sign down at the opposite end, and if you look with me over there, you would see 2 other signs over there. And from where I'm sitting, I don't know if the camera will pick it up, the black spot is saying B, which is Bravo, which is the taxiway right on the side on the left, and at the top part we have A, and the arrow is pointing upwards, and we have apron in the center, and the arrow is pointing heavenwards, which means it's going over towards the apron side. Now I'm going across to see what the sign, this black sign, is saying, because I cannot see from here where am I. Well, there you go, similar to the one that we have up there, 22-04, and I think I've explained that. B, this is Bravo, the taxiway Bravo, which is right on our right here, and the sign is here, so the pilots will know, well, this is taxiway Bravo. And there's another sign down there on the opposite end, which is giving the same information as this one here on my, just in front of us here, and it is saying B22-4, which means the B is pointing towards it's close to the 22, in opposed to this one where the B is close to the 4, and the 4 is down towards the southern end. So here we are at another sign. So suppose an aircraft is to use taxiway Bravo, which is the taxiway closer to the terminal, the cargo terminal building. Now in the center we have apron. The pilot now will know that the apron is straight ahead, right? And he will also know that the taxiway he's heading to, which is going from left to right, is taxiway Alpha, which is this parallel taxiway just in front. Before you get to the apron section, that dirt area we have where I just spoke to you about, where I told you that they're going to put down base stones in a while from now, that is the parallel taxiway. So an aircraft probably not going all the way up past the other taxiway, or let's say Liat landing, could use this taxiway and get up to, go along the parallel taxiway by using Bravo B, and go along taxiway A and get to the terminal building. Or if the aircraft go beyond taxiway C, when it comes back down, it could come down through taxiway C, and could also travel down taxiway A and go on to the apron. That all depends on the distance it takes to cool down, to stop before it turns around. So this is the signage that we have already laid down here at the airport site. We have a few more down there, and those down there is basically similar to what we have up there. But what I will do, I will cover all of them. So when I get down there, I will conclude this aspect of the update here where the signage are concerned here at the Argyle International Airport site. Well, here we are at the first signage as you come in from the south. Here we have B, and B is referring to, let me recap, this first taxiway you're going to meet, this taxiway is B. And as you go across towards the other taxiway that is running from north to south, that is taxiway A. And as you go further up along the runway stretch to the other taxiway that is leading towards the commercial apron area, that is taxiway B. And the other signage is showing you the orientation, which is 0422, and which runway is coming next. So those two signs you're seeing over there on the side facing inward, they are showing you the orientation of the runway, and they're showing you which runway falls between them. The sign up at the higher end is also showing you a similar thing. It's showing you the orientation of the runway, and they're showing you which taxiway falls between them. So there you have it, the signage. This is to give the plane the direction or which taxiway they're going to travel on, and the position they are in here at the airport. If they are coming in, whether day or night. When it is night, these will be lighted because we already have the cables for these signage already run underground. If you notice where it is connected there's a box underneath there where we have the cables run, and right in front of us here we have the conduit here for that same cable running towards it. But what is going to happen, all of these cables will then be linking up, joining up across there, some of them carrying the lighting. If you notice inside there in the hole, you see cables have already been run there, linking up. What is left next to go is the cable that will take you across towards close to the runway, which is going to pass through this piece of conduit here on the ground, which is going to run straight across and bring up the lighting on the side about 2 to 3 feet away from the runway. So this is what we have in regards to the signage here at the airport site, and you have it as part of the update here. I'm going to take you closer so you can have the reading of what is written on the side in here, if you care to know, because some people ask some questions and I may not have the answer. So anticipating that you might ask question about this, here is the information just for you.
Out of JFK Airport, flying into Argyle International Airport.
Dedication and desperation, nationals made their contributions, eliminating our frustration. From our neighboring islands, their taxes so high, we want to cry. Cuba, Taiwan and Venezuela, Mexico, Trinidad and Tobago, embracing our commitment, witnessing our achievement. They are lifesavers when we need good neighbors.
This fencing you're seeing here was done all the way up. As you can see, I believe this was the second piece of fencing to be done after the first one down there. And where I am moving here towards the north, showing you, I can also see from down here where they have put up new fencing in that area just outside the workshop, where they were putting down a drain that I showed you a couple Saturdays ago. But when we get up there, you will see what I'm talking about. From inside the fencing area, I'm looking at the concrete batching plant in operation, and my guess is that they're getting concrete ready for that area down there where they put down the fencing, and most likely for the riverside. But I don't know for sure yet which section, but for sure it's not for the cargo apron, not for the apron area, because the guy told me over there a while ago that they will be starting concrete work from tomorrow. What they're doing actually, they're putting down the moldings on all the different steels, finishing up that area in readiness for tomorrow. But they're coming down from up there, and where you see these vehicles are coming down here to head to Waroko and to the IRDC office. But very soon that will be a thing of the past, because that road will be closed off. And here on this side of the 191 channel, on the north side, that section between the 220 and the 191 channel, in this area where we have the workshop, we have fencing been planted here during the last week gone. Remember, we about 2 to 3 Saturdays ago when I came here, they were doing this section of the guttering, and last week when I passed here, nothing like this was up here. But this week we are seeing not only poles have gone up, but we see meshing has also gone up. And from where I'm at here, I can't say for sure, but I'd rather wait until we get closer to give you an idea as to what is happening. Because what it looks to me like is as if they have already had poles up, the boxing at the footing, waiting for the concrete. But not until I get closer up, then I will better be able to tell you if what I'm thinking is right. And if that is the case, then they have to supply concrete up here and down at the bottom, down there, where we first had those fencing going down. But this is what we have here in terms of the fencing area. On this, the eastern side of the airport side, heading up just between the 191 channel and the 220 channel. Just as I thought, they are waiting for the concrete work. Here we have poles already in place, boxing at the side. All that is needed to be done now is for the pouring of the concrete into these boxing, and then later on we'll have another team of workers putting up the meshing for the fencing. So you have it. Also down at the south eastern end down there, we have guys waiting on the concrete for the fencing, because you would have already seen the boxing going up. And here also on the northeastern side, close in the area where we have the workshop, just on my right, directly opposite where we have the petroglyph up there. If you look over there, you see the petroglyph. But right in front of me here is where we have those fencing. So the work continues here at the Argyle International Airport site as we look at the progress from week to week. Now these poling that we have here, these are done somewhere else. There are some guys, I'm not too sure exactly where, but they put in these strips of board across at the top up there and at the bottom down there. They are prepared on somewhere else, not in this area, and are brought on site ready to be mounted up. And you see that they are plumb and steady and secure. Just all we need to have is the concrete works going in at the footing, and then next week when I come back here, all there will be fencing. And you know what, I won't be able to pass under to get over on this side. I will have to walk all the way around the fencing. We are here at the 220 channel, and as you can see where they're filling up with the concrete between the tunnels there, you see how far down they would have reached. Just a little bit more, not much. On this side, this is on the eastern end, and on the side here of the corrugated iron, you see they have already put up a number of slabs of concrete on the siding, and later on they're going to fill up all this area here with dirt. They're continuing the work here on the end of this edge of the 220 channel. They're putting up the boxing, steel mesh in place, and later on they're going to pour the concrete to carry this up to a height just as the one that we have on the top. And while the work, no filling up is being done today. I don't know if they're going to do any later on, but what we have here, as you can see, a great deal of work has been done since our last visit last week. You noticed that they had about a small portion to do, and I told you they have finished more than 3/4 of it. But up on the north end, not the north end, the west end, sorry, we still have filling to be done, because from where I'm at here I can still see a lot of the galvanized, which tells me that not much filling has been done. It seems as though they would have concentrated on this area down here over the past week. The filling up of the river area continues. That area over there on the bank side where the fencing is going to be passing, you see it has cleared off all the dirt that was there piled up last week. Some of it pushed off, leveled off, and the balance thrown here into the area where we had the river. And on that bank side over there, when the guys were spraying the corrugated sheetings here, they had their shed over there, the workshop over there, and now all that area is now being filled up. If you didn't know where the river used to run, you wouldn't know now, because the place is so different here as they continue with the works here at the airport site. As you can see over there in the distance, the trucks are coming one after the next, loaded with dirt and stones mixed together as they dump it here in this area to fill up where once used to be the riverbed. The filling up of this area of the 220, this is the side southward or north of the Petrocliff Hill, whichever you want to say. They are filling up this area on the siding up to the point where they would have poured concrete. You know, when it rains, the water runs down in this area from off the bank side up here and goes down on the side. So they're trying to fill up this area so that they can have the water running in the right areas and not creating problems. But dirt, truckloads of dirt continue to be moved from one end of the site to the other. A year ago, I can let you know that nothing like this was here in this area. What we had here, they were just clearing the stones from here to start the laying down of these culverts. These culverts actually started the foundation. They actually started the work here sometime in January, around the 24th, around the 26th of January. They started to lay down the corrugated metal sheeting. But October the 11th, 2014, nothing was in this area of the riverbed. All we had was the dirt, and the trucks were coming to remove big boulders from that were here on the bed as they cleared the way for the starting of this work. As you will see in some of my photographs from last year, I will just bring them back up to show you what has taken place here over the past year. That truck you're looking at there just came from the 220 channel area, where I just passed there a while ago, and I told you I wasn't too sure if they're going to do concrete filling here today. Well, actually the truck just came from down there, and Another truck is just crossing that area where that truck now turn in the corner down to the right down there, coming up this way, heading to the 220 channel where it is going to offload its load of concrete. As you can see it coming out there into the screen, heading towards that area where they are doing the filling up of the 220 channel. And as I speak with you, if I go with you over to that area where they're doing the fencing, you can see there's another truck over there, and just a while ago I've passed there and I show you where the boxing are on the side in there waiting for concrete. Now you're seeing the concrete being poured here as I speak with you. By the time I get back from up at the north, because I have to head to the north and pass back in that area, I can guarantee you that that area will already be gone. I come on this side because, like we have seen before, down at the eastern side down there where we had the first set of fencing, we have also seen the boxing up waiting for concrete. And there we have a truck also pouring concrete on that side. So as you can see, in 3 different areas, concrete works are going on here on the side. 2 sections of fencing and the river span. And as you will know by now, we have 6 of these concrete trucks. So I'm not too sure how they're working it out. If 4 trucks are taking concrete to that side and 2 are doing the concrete on the fencing side. I'm going to look at things and see. I think that should be the case. 1 truck is in docked up waiting for concrete. 1 is down at the southern end where they're doing the fencing. 1 is up here at the north end. That makes it 3. 1 is on the river. That is 4. The 1 just leave the riverside. That makes 5. And we have this one coming up here to go to the river. Makes 6. So all 6 trucks are engaged actually. 4 of them taking concrete to the river area, and the other 2 are taking concrete to the fencing area. On the flat down here at the 220 channel, from on top of the Petrocliff Hill where I'm at looking down, you can see works going on there as the truck fill up there with dirt. The tractors, they level it off, and the stone rollers compact it. As I look down there on the flat at the works taking place. I am here on that area north of the river where they have all of those dirt dumped. When you're on the Petrocliff and you look over towards the north, you see that bank side with all the dirt taken from the riverbed area and other areas and dumped there. And no doubt it will be later used to fill up other areas. Now I am up here looking down at the area where the river is passing. Down below me we have a backhoe, or whatever you call it, a piece of equipment. It's digging out a trench there. I don't know what it is for, if it's for a drainage way, but it is digging out a trench and it has gone all the way around this bank side down there. And down on the flat, from here I can see a number of stakes being placed there on the ground after the area was surveyed by surveyors. I don't know if you can see it as I am seeing it with my naked eyes, but this is what is happening. And down there in the distance we see truckloads of dirt, and the trucks continue to bring dirt down on the lower end, on the eastern end down there, as they fill up the river area here at the Argyle International Airport site. As I come down here on the flat and see what is happening here, I come to the conclusion that the reason why the operator is wrong there, opening that drain, is to allow this water to run off. This water settles here when it rains, settles up here, so to get the water to run off. Apparently that is what is happening there. But it could only be a temporary thing, who knows. But here where I'm standing and talking to you, about 3 months ago, less than that, because see, I couldn't do this because the river was running right here in this area where I'm standing. I used to walk down from that bankside there, come down, and when I get to that point there by the bluff there, I had to be very careful because it was close to the river's edge. But all here the river used to run, and you would know that because if you are from this area and you have been following the weekly updates that I have been doing, you would know exactly that where we are at here right now, as I speak with you, once used to be the river running. But this river that once used to run here is now being channeled under the 220 channel and is running straight down to the lake, giving the workers here the opportunity to fill up this area that was once the riverbed. As I turn with you and look around, all the way up there the river used to come down in that area, but now it is no longer there. And as we can see, all this here is bare land. In times to come, people who are not born yet wouldn't know what here would have looked like unless they look back at past photographs. So I'm heading up north to see the work that has been done, and over there in the distance, out at the sea, I can see some dark clouds which indicate to me that it is raining out there on the sea. But nevertheless, I'm going up further north to see the progress of the work done up there before I head my way back down to the southwestern side to get a glimpse of what took place over there over the past week. So here we are at the northern end, where they would have done the final coating or the final layer of asphalt over the past week gone. Now they're down at the south end working, coming up, and up here they had finished this area here, putting down the final layer. This is called the wearing coat. So the only section left to be done is that section on the shoulder side over there where we have those stones on the side where we're going to have the shoulder. That is left to be done. But this area of the runway itself has been completed, and all that is left to be done after they finish the river spanning and they continue their way up, they're going to link up that piece to this one, and then we're going to have our full length of runway. But this work up here is completed, and they are now down there on the southern end. So very soon we will be having our full length runway completed here at the Argyle airport site. The only work that is going on up here currently, as far as my eyes can see, the work is up at the bankside over there where the trucks are doing some odd movements, where the trucks are being loaded with dirt and transported down towards the area of where they're doing the filling up at the 191 channel and also in the riverbed area. But as I go northward, I see the rain is coming towards me. I am not sure if I should go further up or if I should just turn back.
7 is a maiden flight out of JFK Airport, flying into Argyle International Airport.
Dedication and desperation, nationals made their contributions, eliminating our frustration from our neighboring islands. Their taxes so high, we want to cry.
Now, as you can see, we're still up here on the northeastern side, and you see in the distance over there where the fence is coming down, and we have the drainage. Now if you look in front of us right here, you see this is one stake, and ahead up there we have another one, and from what I can see, these two stakes are lining up with that piece of steel just in the middle of the drain up there. You can see that piece of steel there. These two stakes that we have down here are lining up with that piece in the center there. So I have turned my back to the piece of stake just in front of me here, and I'm going to walk forward from that stake going towards the south end. Now I'm walking in line with that stake where the drain is that I just showed you behind me a while ago, and I'm going towards the south. Last week they were clearing this area here where we had these dirt pile up here, and as I stood on the wall for the drain just behind me up there where the fencing have been erected, I show you down in the distance down there the lining up of the fencing down on the southern end just in front of the police, the fire station down there. Now here we are, another stake as I walk forward. Now these stakes are also lining up with those behind me that are lining up with the center of the drain. And if any drainage is going to be put in this place, this area here, this is the route which the drain will take. And as I look over into the distance over there, and I'm going to bring you up closer to see exactly what I'm talking about. Right there in that area where you have that white truck and those two pieces of equipment, we have where they just erected some fence where they put the concrete at the footing of those fence not too long ago. Now where I'm standing and look across in my camera to that area, this is what's showing you the alignment of this area where the fencing is going to pass. And I'm going still further close to the bank to where I can see the edge, or I can see the edge of the river span in the 220 channel where they're doing the boxing works at the end there. I'm going across there from here, and when I get across there, I'm going to show you what I am talking about here in regards to the alignment of the fencing from here going straight across to that side over there. Now right in front of me we have the last stake coming towards the river edge, and I'm going to show you as I move up the camera, and you can see right in front of us the edge of the 220 channel. And as we go straight up and look across there, you see where we have those fencing that has already been erected. So from what I'm seeing here, it could be quite obvious that the fencing will be passing right where those guys are working there, on top of that section of the fencing of the tunnel, and coming right across in this area here where we have the stakes and the other stakes behind me, going right back up to where we have that fencing area up on the eastern side up there, the north, and from what I am noticing here. But the work continue with the filling up of the concrete over there. We have the guys are waiting for the trucks to return with concretes. Look as though all of the trucks are over at the cement plant, the concrete batching plant right now. All of them assembly there waiting to be loaded with concrete. One is docked up into the slot where they usually dock up for the concrete, as you can see there. It's there ready to be loaded, and about 3 other trucks there waiting to be loaded as well. So the work here continues here at the site, and the place is overcast. We just had some brief showers. Certain section of the site we had rain, and another section no rain. The wind actually blew the rain away. Over here in the river area where we once had the river, the continuation of the filling up of this area is going on right now as trucks dump loads after load of dirt here. The caterpillar pushes it over into the space, and the compactor compacts it as they fill up this area here where the river once used to run in the 220 channel section. We are here We are here at the area where that is the section between the 220 and the 191 channel, or the section just that runs from one end of the petroglyph to the other, north to south or south to north, where they are putting down the stakes. The surveyors are doing the surveying and the stakes are going put in place in preparation for the laying of the base stones here on this section of the runway that has not been completed as yet. So you see the workers down there, they're actually here doing that work here at this section of the runway between the 191 channel and here the 220 channel. As you can see, trucks loaded with dirt are waiting to start dumping their loads here on this side, as other trucks move into different areas to be loaded with dirt to be taken to the other section of the site. Without here, there you see putting in that stake there, and that is just to give you the alignment where they're going to start to lay down the stones for the runway. This road you're looking at is exactly where vehicles coming from off the main road coming to the Argyle Gardens will pass to get to Warrico and to the IADC office. Now where you're seeing up there at the end of the main road, there is where the vehicles enter from to get down to this point. Now what is happening here right now, all of this road in front of us here is where the vehicles used to pass to go over to Warrico and to the IADC office. But as you can see currently, truckloads of dirt are being dumped here as they bring this area of the runway up to that level. So it means therefore that the vehicles will have to start finding a new route to get to Warrico and to the IADC office. And most likely they will have to start using the top end of the roadway up at the north in order to get here, because you are seeing what is happening here and it's not going to be very safe for them to pass here while work is going on. So as the work develops here, we are going to see what is taking place here with in regards to vehicles getting to and from the Warrico area. Now we are here at the 191 channel area where they're bringing the water. Where you're looking at up there, this is the channel through which the water will run to connect into the 191 channel that we have here. But if you notice below here, we have a step down between this area and here before they get to this other area where they have a steel matting being laid down and leading directly into the channel down there. Now this step down that you see behind me here is going to be a catchment for the water. So as the water comes into this area here and fill up the area, then the water will flow over and go down into this area where we have the matting. They're now putting down the steel matting and they're going to cast concrete on that steel matting, and on the side of the siding where the steel bend come up, we're going to have a concrete wall. I don't know if they're going to do it with blocks come up like they do the drain over just below the control tower, or if they're going to put a concrete wall. But this is what we have here right now as I speak with you today. Here we have where the water constantly flows, and over here we are going to have a drain that will be bringing the water from other areas at the front of the terminal building, and from that which will be coming down on the roadway over there. This also here is a drain running between the apron and the terminal building at the air side of the terminal building, coming straight over to the gutter area. And all of this water will be linking up, going through the 191 channel and down to the sea area, away from that one which will be running through the river. Already here where we are having the fuel farm, we see the necessary pieces of material. We have the training fence over there already, so this means that this area is going to be fenced around. We have poles there on the ground, and we have what looks like pumps and other pieces of equipment that will be used here in this area of the fuel farm to store the fuel, jet fuel and other stuff here for the aircrafts landing at the Argyle airport site. We are now here at the top on this bank side overlooking the cargo terminal building, and we see the roof, the rafters for the roof are in place, and they are putting up those what we'll call the lat for the bolting of the galvanized. I have not seen any sheeting material here as yet, but those will come later on. But you are looking now at all 7 pieces of the rafters up, those at the front there, and back here on the side where we have the electrical substation, you see the start with the decking for the concrete work. It looks as though it's either going to have 2 floors or it's going to have a concrete roof here. Here where we're going to have the electrical substation here. They have started work on the decking of this portion of work here, and in readiness for the laying of the steels and the pouring of the concrete. Now while I speak with you over there on the hillside, just little below where that house is, you're seeing a piece of equipment there doing some earthworks and loading some trucks. It looks as though they are bringing down that bank side there a little lower to bring it to the level of the roadway that we have here where that vehicle is down there. We are back here at the area where they had those boxing waiting the concrete, and while we are up at the north side, somewhere over in the distance on the Petrocliff Hill, I show you where they were pouring concrete down here. So I return specifically to show you what has happened, because when we passed up here earlier on in the day, these boxing were there fitted in and waiting to have the concrete poured in them. As you can see, I'm on my way out now, so I just passed back here to give you a peep as to what has taken place here on this end of the airport side. So next week when we come here and we pass in this area, you sure to see all the meshing up and in place, so nobody can cross over from one end to the next to get onto the side. And this is how it is. Tomorrow there are going to be concrete works on the cargo apron area. So next week when we return, we're going to see some development in the concrete works there also. Once more, we have come to the end of our visit here at the Argyle International Airport. And I must say it's a pleasure coming here today to witness the development here at the airport site and to share it with you here on my YouTube channel. I want to take this opportunity to thank you all my viewers and for your support and for viewing weekly all those different videos that I would have done from here at the airport side. I want to take this opportunity to wish you a blessed week, and wherever you are in the world looking at this video, I want to thank you also for following me here, and wish you all the best, and looking forward to be here with you next week as I come back here to view the update here at the Argyle International Airport site.
Dedication and desperation, nationals made their contributions, eliminating our frustration. From our neighboring islands, their taxes so high, we want to cry. Cuba, Taiwan and Venezuela, Mexico, Trinidad and Tobago, embracing our commitment, witnessing our achievement. They are lifesavers when we need good neighbors. Argyle International Airport, we flying. Argyle International Airport, we landing. Argyle International Airport, we progressing. Say thanks for the Grenadines. It's a blessing.